What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're going to be talking about the XRP price chart, which of course sits above $1 after a roaring weekend. When we did the video last Friday, the price was in the 80s. We had hit as high as 91, and then throughout the weekend, hitting as high as 126. Which is the highest price we've seen on XRP in 3 years, literally. When we hit $1.26 there on Saturday, November 16th, the last time we saw that was November 16th of 2021. But with this big move up in price, of course, a lot of people are wondering what's going on with XRP. I have been getting text messages about it. One of them reads, "What's been going on with XRP? Is it just the elections or is there some new news?" Another one being, "What do you think about your XRP?" Smiley face. It's not very normal that people are texting me about XRP, but I figured I'd let you know people are. And the reality is, I think it's actually hitting mainstream quite hard. I saw Leonidas post this over there on Twitter just a little while ago about Google Trends for XRP and went to go look for myself. And sure enough, we are getting a lot of interest in XRP with the mainstream as we're seeing the highest search volume in 5 years. Hard to know if any of that has to do with a Robinhood listing. That's going to drive a lot of attention. So it did get a little bit of a news bump. But again, highest prices in 3 years. In moments like this, a lot of people try to find the reasons for why the price is going up, or is there something special that's going on? Of course, everybody wants to look to Gary Gensler resigning, something going on with Ripple, flip the switch, whatever it is. There's all types of narratives that get out there. And even in a lot of those text messages that I'm getting sent over tweets that are by chronic misinformation people over there on Twitter. So I do bring a different perspective than some type of fundamental news narrative or justification and reason for why the price is going up. I come with the perspective of market conditions being appropriate for it, which is why I tweeted on November 9th, XRP, it is time, you may send, when the price was about 57 cents. The market conditions were appropriate for the price to be able to move. We'd already had Bitcoin roar to the upside and break into a new all-time high. The altcoin market cap was already on the move, and breadth was starting to open up in the market. We've talked about breadth a lot, and a lack of breadth means altcoins aren't going to move. But if the breadth opens up, we tend to see XRP's price move as well. And right there on November 9th, I had already seen that it had started to open right there. And that when we do that, it's typically a good sign. Over the last several months, we spent a lot of time talking about this range and how that's a common range in the final phase of accumulation, where you take out this low and grab the liquidity, doing a back test, which is really exactly what we saw happen over here on XRP. There's a completion of the range. This has been kind of the final phase in here to then eventually be able to escape from the range. And so I think we're escaped from it. I don't think we'll see these prices again till at least the complete of all of this cycle. And if crypto comes crashing down and goes to nothing or something like that. But I think in the current stage of the market of where we're at right now, I don't think we'll go that low again. Right now, we're just kind of stuck in this part right now of, hey, is this market going to go actually expand like what we're talking about over here with the total market cap of crypto and the altcoin market? And like on this one, this is others, right? Others has gotten back to its retracement levels. The total market cap of the entire cryptocurrency market is back at the previous all-time high. And now we're just kind of left wondering, are we going to kind of act like what a normal asset acts like, and where there's like a back test, and then we just kind of grind our way up in here because we don't have the strength to escape from the all-time high right now? Or are we actually in full-blown breakout like we were back over here? And well, the reason why I say that is because that's very similar to what we actually were doing over here. Buckling up against a few times. Finally, the last waddle, it escapes, and then we just go off rampaging for 23 days. There's no evidence saying we're not going to do that. And if total breaks out from here, you would think that that's going to happen. And XRP's price tends to move in that manner. It's just all or nothing. Either we're shooting in a straight line up or we're in an absolute torture chamber. When we look over here to the actual market cap of XRP, which is going to be the thing that I'm paying more attention to when I'm trying to get to my targets up higher, you can see that on the range that we're currently in right now, we're battling against the retracement level of 2021's peak. So we have a little bit of confluence there that this is kind of the breakout level with another confluence over there and others, and the confluence of being at the breakout level for the total market cap of all of crypto. Now that prices have shot up, it's more of like, okay, this is more of like the caution level because we're back at the retraces and we're waiting for the total market cap to break itself out and for the altcoin market to break itself out. I put a whole video out about that this morning, and I know with certainty people really want to hold on to flip the switch, all the money. Ripple is the best thing since sliced bread. They're going to dominate the universe and pump me to bajillions of dollars. But I do think this is completely tied to the market. And right now, we've gotten a really big move over here. It's gotten us back to the retracement level of 2021. It's the highest price we've seen in 3 years. And I think it's bucking up against resistance just as we are over here with total and like we are over here for others. And I do find it hard to believe we'll see like a breakout and an all-time high move happen for XRP without this happening at the same time. And so right now, we're kind of in this stalemate of can this market completely expand itself, or is it going to spend more time here waddling around? If the market has to correct off these levels first, guess what? It's going to happen to XRP. It's just gonna. But if Total has the juice to be able to go for an escape, well, then I start making tweets like this again, saying it's time, you may send. But right now, you could see we've made our way all the way back to the retraces on the market cap of 2021. Now it's time for the market to say, let's get out of here. I've spent the last several years saying price only moves as long as the rest of the market is moving. Guess what? The rest of the market has been moving. We've moved with it. But the rest of the market is at a point right now where it's got to find a way to get out of here. We have confluence as we've also reached back to the retracements into the resistance level for XRP's market cap. And for that, I think we're going to kind of be stuck here until the whole market cap breaks up. Maybe XRP is a part of that. Maybe they happen at the exact same time. But as of right now, I think that's kind of the confluence I'm looking for another move to end up coming. Now, I am in the camp of thinking that it eventually will. That's why I don't think we've even seen the real big fireworks happen in this market yet. Well, we have seen the safety trade dominance begin to break down from this range that has been stuck in since May and June. We still haven't gotten like the real big break to come down in here where things get nutty. So I just don't even think we've gotten to the nutty part yet. But I do eventually think that's going to happen. And while XRP would do very fantastic in a moment like that, in addition, while XRP is not part of others, which is the entire altcoin market excluding the top 10, even the dominance over on others is something we've talked about, that this was a completed crashing structure that happened in here for this thing to finish itself off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, rolls back up to wave 4 within wave 5. There's your low. Boom. Also, timing wise, like this is identical to how things played out in past cycles for the dominance of the altcoin market to start rampaging along. And XRP is an altcoin. It goes with the altcoin market. It doesn't have all that pressure of it on the SEC in July of last year being ruled not a security. It doesn't have that overhang on top of it. There's a lot of optimism out there. So I don't think that's going to be anything weighing down on it. But even here for others, like we're at the time, like that was on the exact day, like literally to the day, all this stuff. And while this is how things started rampaging on. So I'm in the belief that we're going to end up seeing it. We're just in this stalled out period right now. Now, of course, a lot of people are probably wondering, well, how high do you think it could go, right? That's the number 2 thing that everybody wants to know is how high it can go. The number 1 thing is the thing I can't answer for you and nobody can. Is when? When moon? How long? All types of fancy wording of just the generic question of when moon. Or like this guy, what's the projected timeline? When will market top? Unanswerable question. However, the only answer I can give to you is to say, whenever this thing does. So the second most important question people want to know is, hey, how high do you think it could go? Well, as long as Total does break out, as long as others does break out, and as long as XRP follows along in that, I have a confluence of a bunch of things that I'm looking at to give me a general idea of where I'm targeting. It's definitely not as sexy as $589 or $1,000 or $100 or $50, but I always like to provide justifications and reasons for why I pick certain numbers. Really, the most optimistic number I can hold on to is really just a 4.236 extension of the entire market cap that has lasted from 2018 until now, which essentially places us right around here. That this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, and this is wave 4, and this is wave 5. And that wave 3 was the most aggressive wave of the entire move for XRP, and that we will not see percentage returns of that magnitude where it essentially rallied up 63,000% or 630x. But that in wave 4, you have a contracting triangle, which targets a 4.236 extension. We even saw this with Bitcoin back in 2018 through 2021, where the market cap of Bitcoin does a crash, retraces back to the retracement levels, consolidates to eventually go for a 4.236 extension for its market cap, and then enter into a bear. It's very common for things like this to happen. Here is Ethereum from back in 2017. Here's the range, crash, retrace, reaccumulation to ultimately go on and hit a 4.236 extension. We saw this with things like Neo as well back in 2017. And well, even Ethereum's market cap precisely hit a 4.236 extension back in 2021 based on the 2018 bear market. This is why we're also looking at the market cap of XRP rather than the price of XRP, which we will get to in a minute. But these market caps are the things that gave the clue back in 2021. Because as you can see with Ethereum's actual price chart, it did not actually hit the 4.236 extension. It came up short. The same was also true for Bitcoin. However, their market caps nailed it. So for me, paying attention to the market cap is the primary thing for me, which means from where it's currently at right now that it could rise approximately 750% from where it's at right now for full extension in a best case scenario, so long as this market expands, right? With XRP trading at $1.09 right now, that would be equivalent for XRP's price to hit about $9.40, at least in that region. So let's see if we can find anything else that would have confluence to $9.40. Now, one thing that was interesting about Ethereum back in 2021 is where the price chart of ETH/BTC, or the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio, was able to get to. It really topped out right here back at the May of 2018 height. For the XRP price chart, that's equivalent to this area right here. If we were to say that's as much as it could gain versus Bitcoin. So if the price of Bitcoin stayed exactly where it is right now at $90,000 and it never moved from there, and XRP did a major bull run while Bitcoin just sat perfectly still, that would be an increase of approximately 786%. That's nearly identical to what we just showed over here at 763%. So we now have two things that are kind of interesting to say that price level has a little bit of confluence. Again, that's a perfect scenario where Bitcoin just stays at $90,000, right? Bitcoin may go up, Bitcoin may go down. We don't know. If it just stayed where it's at right now, it would have confluence with that like $9 to $10 area. Another thing we can look at is the market cap of XRP versus Ethereum. Throughout history, there's been a couple of times where XRP's market cap has actually been able to catch up to Ethereum, however, incapable of really being able to surpass it. It happened during the bull run back in 2017 and 18 a couple of times, and still this was really just kind of the ceiling of where it could hang out at. If it were to catch up to the market cap of Ethereum of where it is exactly at right now, that rise is approximately 524%, which in a world where Ethereum stays exactly where it's at and doesn't move, that would be like a $6.80 XRP price. However, let's just pretend a little bit higher, maybe Ethereum gets a little bit higher, and it happens from higher levels, right? But even right here, 680, right? So all these little different things that we're doing right in here are just kind of given like a ballpark, right? And maybe some expectation resetting for a lot of the clickbait that does happen out there on Twitter that may be like $1,000, $500. I've definitely seen just in this past week, $2,000, or the Fed's going to buy it back for 25 grand, something crazy, right? Just kind of gives a reasonable historical basis what would be in line. And while if it was a perfect catch to where Ethereum is at right now, being a little bit over 500%, just know even in here, we have had times where when it does do that catch up, it actually does exceed it a little bit. So you can see in here, the distance between these two was an extra 87% before it stopped. And over here, the furthest it was really able to get away was about 25% right there. And right here, it was about 35%. So, you tack on 35% on top of where we're at right here. And that really does get us really right where we're talking about 750%. And that's not unreasonable, right? The times it's caught to Ethereum, it kind of flips it. It creates a big news narrative. Everybody gets really excited. The flippening is happening and then it's over, right? But each time it did catch it, it did bypass it. And the smallest bypass was about 35%. And again, it gets you right in that range. So food for thought. Even if you thought to yourself, oh, it's going to get that full 87, 90%, whatever, still, that's, 1,100% from right here. So even that puts you at like $12, right? So these all just kind of give those like reasonable figures, right? That I just know that there's so much clickbait and narratives for hundreds of dollars, right? And just kind of showing historical data to say, hey, look, it seems more reasonable in that $7, $8, $9, $10, $11 area. And if you're going to be like really precise and use the market cap, it says $9.40. And that also is under the condition that it happens like within the next several days, right? And XRP has inflation like most assets do. Its inflation rate's about 6 to 7% annually. So every month that gets tacked on, it inflates about 0.5%. So that $9.40 goes down by 0.5% every month. So if it takes a full 30 days from right now, that would go down to $9.35. If that goes 2 whole months, that number goes down to $9.30 and $9.25, $9.20. You get the idea. And I can tell you, I'm going to be using a ladder approach if we get it. We get above $6, I'll start laddering 7, 8, and then by the time we get to above 9, I'll have sold 65%, and I'll hold on to 35% in the event that I'm just wrong and things go crazier. But as for me, I was here accumulating, and there's some things I want. There are some things I want to buy, and I need some cash to do that. So kind of just a little transparency for me on the channel and how I intend to treat that area as well. So exciting time. We've gotten the market cap to shoot all the way back into the retracement levels of the 2021 to 2024 range. My thoughts are, we're waiting for evidence of this thing to be able to break out for the total market cap of crypto. I think there'll be confluence to those events happening along with others in the altcoin market, that they all kind of go at the same time. And we're kind of like right back there, buckling up against that last retracement level. And I think once that thing finally has the juice to shoot out of there, I think XRP will go with it. But right now, we're just kind of waiting for that to happen. And I think it'll come. I don't even think the crazy has even started in this market yet. We don't even have this thing in full-blown breakdown yet. And I can tell you, it is nice to see some interest returning back here. Can you believe it? Lots of positive narratives, lots of positive perception, and lots of positive media coverage. So really just been a great time to be an XRP holder lately. So the main focus will be on the broader cryptocurrency market right now. I do understand that people who watch my channel, a lot of people are XRP holders. And I've tried to explain as we've gone through the rough times that I'm always focusing on Bitcoin and broader markets and getting that big picture to wait for those moments of when XRP can take off. And that we have to have a lot of things click, whether it's the Russell 2000 breaking out or breadth opening up throughout all markets and focusing on Bitcoin and all those things to eventually get to that. Otherwise, we could talk about the XRP price chart all day long, but it just wouldn't matter unless those other conditions get met first. And the amazing thing was, once again, all those other conditions got met and then boom, price took off. So the great thing is all those conditions are still out there. So we're in like the most optimistic time that you could possibly be. So we'll keep our eyes on that. We're now waiting to see the whole market be able to get an escape. And if it gets an escape, more exciting times for XRP are what my thoughts are. So, all right, I'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. I hope you guys are having a good day. I know you had a good weekend. If you'd like, you can check out my newsletter over here on blockchainbacker.substack.com. It includes a 33-minute audio voiceover that I personally recorded. We talk about a couple of different topics in here and whether this breakout actually has legs to it by looking for confluence factors in macro and in crypto. We talk about where's the strong performance at by reviewing sectors and coins that are leading the charge, which coins have good data, looking at some of the data factors that have worked historically and which coins are meeting those standards right now, along with looking ahead and how does the market historically play from here. If you sign up for the newsletter, of course, you get access to all the past ones as well. If videos are more of your jam, you can, of course, check out bcbacker.com with over 40 videos and 11 hours of content teaching you how to set up your own charts and indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. There are links in the description of this video to bcbacker.com and to the newsletter at blockchainbacker.substack.com. Otherwise, I'll check in with you guys soon, and I want to thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.